One of the things you will see in that interview is Dave did let us know that he is locked in and will definitely be appearing as a guest at this fall's 45 Years of Terror franchise reunion event out there in Pasadena. It's happening the last weekend of September, September 29th, 30th, and October 1st is the day 3 of the festival, of the convention, I should say. And, we've talked about 45 Years of Terror a little bit. We talked about it a lot last week. Sean actually chimed in the live chat a little bit for us last week. No official announcements as of yet. We are on constant watch. We're checking Halloween45.com every day, a few times a day, checking in with Sean, bugging our friends, and seeing when things are made a little bit more official. But what we do know are the dates, of course, the location, Pasadena Convention Center, and as I said last week, it's pretty much goes without saying, especially given Sean's recent comments on his channel, that yes, all of the Michael Myers actors, all of the living Michael Myers actors, except the one that'll remain nameless tonight, they are all going to be there, and I think that goes without saying. It is going to be the largest assembly of Michael Myers actors and just franchise alums, be it in front and behind the camera, that has ever been assembled for any event. So it is going to be a landmark event, to say the least. So nothing has been announced officially, but technically we do know that Christopher Nelson is going to be a guest. They said so on their channel. We also know now, we can confirm, Dag, as you're seeing in the live chat here tonight, he confirms himself that he too will be among the guests there. We're also excited to report that our friends over at the Halloween Lives podcast, they just dropped an interview today, as a matter of fact, as well, of their own with Brad Lorry of Halloween Resurrection. Of course, he plays Michael Myers in Halloween Resurrection. And in that interview, Brad confirms that he too is going to be there at 45 Years of Terror. So again, 3 guests confirmed, not officially announced yet, but and these guys aren't huge surprises, I understand. I think we all expected that all of the Michael Myers actors are going to be back, if at all possible. Obviously, if Dag or any of these guys are filming or they have another gig come up, then that might supersede this. But it's great to hear that they're all getting excited. It gets me more excited. Also, in that interview with Brad over on the Halloween Lives podcast channel, you might have seen, I did watch the interview, guys. Great job. I enjoyed it, of course. And Brad mentioned Jamie Lee Curtis, that he had heard maybe that she might be a guest there as well. And I don't take that, certainly that's not confirmation. And even he says in the interview that, yeah, I'd heard she was going to be there, but that was before the Oscar, and who knows what after the Oscar and all that stuff. So with all due respect to Brad and everybody there, I'm definitely not going to go running to the bank quite yet with that tidbit of info. But I know that's on everybody's mind. Everybody wants to keep asking. But as to that question with Jamie Lee Curtis, my response would be, don't focus on that. Because that's going to be something that's probably not going to be announced until the very end, and it might change at the last minute, as these things do. I would say don't go for that. Go for all of this other historic significance of this event, because it is historic for this genre and for this franchise. No other franchise in this genre can pull something like this off, much less every 5 years like it's been doing. So go for all of this. And then, if it happens, if the stars align and she's announced, well, then that's just a pretty awesome bonus right there. But so there you go. A couple of guests that we know now are going to be there. And I want to hear from you, of course, in the live chat. Who are you thinking else is going to be announced? Who's going to be in that first batch of announcements? If you'll remember, going back to 2018, the very first batch of announcements, it was like over 30 guests. It was pretty much the lineup, bigger than most regular conventions, full lineup of guests. And that was just the first batch of guests that were announced that year. They weren't announced that year until well into the summer months. But I do anticipate it'll probably be a little bit earlier than that before more of this starts coming out, including some of the vendor info and vendor exclusives that we talked about last week. So, um, if you're watching this on a replay or here in the live chat, I want to hear from you down in the comments. Of course, here in the live chat. Who else do you hope is going to be appearing this year? What first time guests that maybe weren't there 5 years ago or have never appeared at one of these events? We talked last week about how Sean was mentioning that there's going to be at least over 10 first time guests. That's a lot if you ask me. And that's just the beginning, it sounds like. So, very, very exciting news.